Hey everybody, Dr. Rick here, dropping in on a Sunday afternoon. I hope everybody is doing good. If you followed me for any stretch of imagination, for any stretch of time, you know that I am committed to making a difference in the world in general, but definitely being an impact and an influence in the Black community. I am inextricably connected to my Blackness, and I never in any way attempt to maneuver or move outside of it in order to make other people comfortable. With that being said, we as a community have a lot of work to do. Before I get started, I want to remind you of the importance of supporting the work that we do at the Odyssey Project with programs like Black Men Lead, where we're actually in the middle of a targeted fundraiser. We need your support. I can't stress that enough. I'm not going to stay on that point today. I'm going to move on to what I want to talk about, and then I'll be done. But we need your support. The link to support what we do is in the description box. Also, the handle for our the organization's Cash App account is in the description box. Show some love, show some support for the work we do. If you're familiar with what we do and what we have done for years, I'm 30 years in the game. Ever since social media hit, I've been on trying to teach what I know, share what I know, offer solutions, and so much more. So once again, I'm saying, hey, show some love. On that note, I want to talk to you about something. One of the things that I've been emphasizing heavily is the importance of dealing with the enemy within. It has been a theme as of late with me, because we can talk all day about what, quote unquote, the white man is doing and what's happening and all the different things. We can talk about mass incarceration. We can talk about gentrification. We can talk about miseducation. We can talk about redlining, which still exists in a new form, whether you know it or not. And we can talk about so many other things that are there to inhibit wealth building, to misdirect and criminalize. There's so many things that are in play that the opposition has masterminded to protect their position, their wealth, their power, and to keep us at bay and to be able to use us for their benefit. There's no denying that. I've written on it extensively. I've published article after article, 24 books, thousands of videos and lectures and interviews and all that stuff. But here's the thing. We can talk about that all day long. We can talk about that until we're blue in the face. If we don't deal with the enemy within, we will never, ever advance as a people. The African proverb says, if there's no enemy on the inside, the enemy on the outside can do us no harm. What does that mean? The enemy on the outside exploits the weaknesses created by the enemy on the inside. If there's no enemy on the inside, the strength from the inside is permeated throughout and into the outside. It becomes a barrier. It becomes a force. It becomes impenetrable. We are constantly exploited, manipulated, mishandled, mistreated, abused, oppressed, because we won't deal with the enemy on the inside. I've told you so many times, we need to deal with unhealed trauma and how it perpetuates and presents itself. We need to deal with incest. I've got clients in their 60s still struggling with that because they didn't deal with it in their childhood and they weren't protected in their childhood, and now we're 6 decades later and they're still struggling with it because we don't support wide-ranged, consistent mental health support within our community. Excuse me for a second. So in essence, what we end up doing is hurting others in so many different ways. I can't get into that now. I'm going somewhere with this. We've got incest. We've got absentee fatherhood. We've got toxic relationships. We've got toxic motherhood. Nobody wants to talk about that one. But I'm going to talk about it because that's what this is about today. You know, we love to be able to point out all the faces of the black man, and I've been one of the harshest ones. I've been so hard on black men that I've had black women come to me and say, man, ease up on the brothers, because I am a brother. So I hold myself to a high standard, and I'm going to hold the men around me and the men that I love and care for to a high standard. That's simply the way it should be done. Doesn't mean I don't love every last one of them. It doesn't mean that I won't go to war for every last one of them. What it means is I expect you to be the best that you can possibly be. I expect you to move the best you can possibly move. It's that simple for me. But we love to point that out. But what I want to talk about is the other side of the equation. You know, not every black man is a bad father. Not every black woman is a good mother. Someone forwarded me on a Sunday. The reason I'm talking about it now, someone forwarded me an email of a link to a story where a mother and a grandmother have been charged with the murder of a 4-year-old. I'm going to tell you why. The 4-year-old took a sip of some liquor that was obviously within her grasp, so something that she could access. She took a sip of it, and in that, the grandmother decided to make her drink the whole bottle. Now, anyone that understands alcohol poisoning knows they killed that baby. The mother was present watching when it happened. That's why she's charged. They forced a 4-year-old to drink an entire bottle of liquor. There are some adults that can't take that, depending on your weight. And this is what's in our community. This is what we're supposed to be building a liberated and empowered future with. The minds that think that that's the way you treat a child. That's trauma brought up through generations and perpetuated in severity and intensity upon our children. We have a problem. And this is just one incident. This isn't isolated. Man, you know, we are constantly getting stories of young black kids. I'm not even talking about teenagers and young adults. I'm talking about kids under the age of 12 who are being mishandled, mistreated, hurt, abused, killed by their own. We get wild and upset when one of the boys is shot down by a police officer, and we should. If they were shot down and it wasn't in self-defense, and that was another way that they could have been apprehended, if they should have been apprehended in the first place, then yes, we should be upset. We should raise hell. But we should be equally upset, if not more upset, when someone from within the ranks harms a child. The children are helpless. The children can't defend themselves. The children don't have the wherewithal to take care of themselves. It is our responsibility to parent them, to nurture them, to care for them, to develop them, to educate them, to empower them. And we are failing miserably. Think about it. A few shots gets you, tipsy. Maybe, depending on who you are and what's going on. Some of y'all got some pretty high tolerances. I used to be able to go some shots way up in there deep and roll. I don't even do that at all anymore. But it's either that. But what I can tell you is this. If 3 or 4 shots will at least make you tipsy, what do you think a whole fifth would do to a 4-year-old? I'm asking to make it make sense to you. And the thing is, we're not actively engaged, and they're not going to do anything. And then you'll say, if we report it, CPS will come in and CPS will do something. But let me explain something to you. Foster care, and I know this because Marion and I actually deal with this. We deal with this on a regular basis. We've done work in this area. Foster care is the biggest darn feeding ground for human and sex trafficking there is. So don't tell me what CPS is going to do, because those kids normally end up in worse situations than they were taken out of, more often than not. There are far more horror stories than there are stories of healing and new opportunities and all the little cute stuff that they like to put in front of us and make us feel that, hey, what a great day it is. But no, hey, look, on the truth, we've got work to do. I'm challenging each and every one of you to put in some work. With that being said, look, I'm about to get out of here. I got some things I'm trying to do. Don't forget to support the work we do. That's so important. If we're going to build, we're going to have to heal. We're going to have to grow. We're going to have our own programs. We're going to have to develop. It is really, truly that simple. I can't express that enough. I cannot express that enough. On that note, look, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.